Hey everybody, this is Devin Francis, also known as Leonard Meltzner,
And I'm Victoria.
and you're watching episode 97 of the Adventures in Odyssey Oddcast.
You might notice something is new.
Yeah, the camera is rotated, and you can see the posters on my wall.
Yeah, we decided to rotate the camera. We're together now. Yeah.
Yay.
What's going on was we decided that it's too difficult to record half and half.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be inconvenient to the viewers, and we live for what you guys want, obviously. We do anything for you. We love you. And so we decided that, hey, instead of going to and staying in Castlegar, I should come to Vancouver. So I'm living under Devin's bed right now, like a little bed troll. And yeah, because we thought if we did this for all of you, it would blow your mind. The build up.
Was that entire speech entirely? I hate you. Because at the end of the day, that's all this podcast is a place where we can make each other lose our composure on the camera. So, Victoria, what are we...
from here.
Let's talk about news before we get into things. As of 3 days ago, A Predicament of Biblical Proportions is the September OAC episode. A Forgiving Heart should be the episode for October. Untech the Halls will be the December episode. Still don't know what the November episode will be, but, we're almost there. All that stuff figured out. August 24th, last week, would have been Housemith's 100th birthday. So that's nuts that he was that old. It shocked me. One could almost say it shocked me.
It blew your mind.
I realized that when we did our Attack at the Arena review recently, I forgot to read the blurb special thingy about it in the guide. So here it is.
I want to read it.
Okay.
Behind the scenes, Attack at the Arena. The story of the Roman Colosseum told in Attack at the Arena was going to be the basis for the first book. We thought it might be a little too violent, so we told a story about the Vikings for book 1 instead. Yes, that's right, the Vikings who stole, plundered, and sacrificed animals to the gods. They did more than that. Much less violent. I like how they're like, this is too violent, so let's save it for next time. Yeah. We're still gonna keep it.
You know what the fact did to me?
We're just gonna save it.
Blew my mind. Oh, Heath Ledger. How did she come back?
Ledger. I'm still so... It just breaks my heart that he passed away before the movie actually came out. Because everyone was really mean to him before the movie came out.
So, Victoria?
Yes, Devin.
Qu'est-ce que nous faisons aujourd'hui?
Okay, so I have a new What If. This one's special because Devin pointed out to me, I didn't realize it until he pointed out, the thing that makes this one so different from all the other ones
I think the ones that we've done so far.
Yeah, I think the majority, because, yeah, we've done, like, what if Connie went to Budapest? What if Whip died in World War II?
What if Eugene's parents never disappeared?
Yeah. So all of these ones so far have to do with taking a character out of the series. In this one, all the characters stay the same, but we just change an aspect of one. It has a butterfly effect.
Which is kind of the point of the show.
Mm-hmm.
What is What If again for people who don't
So What If is kind of like a scenario. It's an AIOO where something happened a little bit differently, and then we just talk about the repercussions of it, and it's hopefully a lot more interesting than it sounds.
No, that's good. So this time we're talking about what if Katrina Shanks-Meltzner had never become a Christian in the intermittent moments between It Started with a Rabbit's Foot or began with a rabbit's foot and it ended with a handshake.
Yeah.
In album 20. So, Katrina, she gets let go from the library, so she starts working at Wit's End, and then 10 minutes later, she's talking to Connie and Lucy, and she's like, yeah, lol, I'll become a Christian, and then Eugene's like,
I left Katrina on my laptop!
Calcium deficiency! Yeah.
So, yeah.
That ensues, and so we thought that we would imagine a world where things happen differently.
We've been doing this all day and all last night. Oh, man.
I like how every bad joke that we make on this podcast is just copied from Funhouse.
It is. It really is.
Okay. So, starting with part 2 of that episode ended with a handshake. So, we start out, Katrina doesn't become a Christian, she hears Connie's stuff and Lucy and they're talking and she's like, you know what? That's cool. Good for you guys. Not for me. So, the episode ends pretty much the same. Eugene will still give his awkward speech about how they should just be friends at the end of the episode because the speech was due to leaving Katrina in his laptop, not over her conversion. And as time goes on, we'll assume that Connie still spends a fair amount of time with Connie and Whit as friends.
You mean Katrina still spends?
Yes.
Yeah.
Katrina still spends a fair amount of time with Connie and Whit. Probably not as much as if she was being mentored by them and doing Bible studies with them and stuff like she was in the actual show. But she, she's still hanging around Wit's End.
Yeah. I want to read the next one.
All right.
So, oh, there it is. Okay. So, Eugene and Katrina, their affection for each other builds over time, and on Christmas Eve, they exchange presents, but neither of them receives a Bible. Oh, I didn't think of that. They eventually begin dating with no faith-based hindrance to their relationship, and the Shanks feel no difference towards Eugene than they otherwise did.
Probably not. I don't see why they would.
The only reason Mr. Shanks broke up Katrina and Eugene.
Well, I mean, still at this early point, they probably wouldn't dislike or like Eugene any differently than they did before.
Yeah, they also wouldn't really meet him because, Katrina
Not
just wrote about
point.
Eugene in the letters, which she mentions in the one with the painting and the girl she's tutoring.
The Book Bites cover.
Yeah, Book Bites cover.
Yeah. So Eugene, during this time, he is in pretty high spirits because of this new relationship. He loves Katrina. He doesn't hole himself up for weeks at the college to work on his soil analysis. Actually, I forgot to put this in here. He probably wouldn't have gone on the road trip with Bernard.
Yeah,
because he did that because of it ended with a handshake.
Which actually...
wait. Maybe he would have, because it ended with a handshake still would have ended the same. So he still would have been in that momentary lapse where he goes with Bernard. But when he comes back, eventually he'd probably end up together with Katrina. So it'd probably still happen the same, I think.
Yeah, but on the off chance he didn't, because I feel like the reason he did go on the road trip was because she became a Christian. You
think so?
Yeah, to give her a little space. I thought he probably thought it would be easier and he wouldn't be trying to constantly talk to her.
I thought it was because he needed space after he had this awkward conversation where he's like, we should just be friends. I feel like I just bought a car.
Yeah, I think it's both, but I think he still would have stuck around. Maybe he would have avoided her for a couple days, but I think he would have stuck around Odyssey, not tried to flee to California, which means Bernard
would have broken down. Right, his timing belt broke.
Yeah, Bernard would have broken down. He would have had to...
He just would have died on the side of the interstate.
No, him and Eugene were still there. And remember that guy came to him and he was like, that's downright Christian. And then...
that's a good point.
He still would have gone to California.
But we all know the guy stopped because of Eugene's strongly worded sign.
No. Okay, so Bernard still would have gone to see the house. But Eugene wouldn't have almost been hit by Kelsey's car. So
yeah, but here's the thing, though. What would have happened to Bernard in Third Degree?
Oh.
Because he would have still gotten the ticket.
Yeah, but he said he was going to pay it.
That's true.
So he would have paid it.
Good point.
The same thing would have happened.
If Eugene hadn't become friends with What's-His-Face, then he would have just brushed that away.
But Four Corners... He might have stopped at Four Corners. because the reason he came up with the story was to, like, give Eugene something to think about, so he wouldn't have come up with that story. So he might have stopped at Four Corners, might have found the, like, Lake of Gold or whatever.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Thought. This is all uncharted territories. I forgot about the road trip.
What if Bernard and Eugene didn't go on the road trip together?
I forgot about the road trip. I mean, that's what this is now. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, what if Katrina didn't become a Christian / what if Eugene didn't go on the road trip with Bernard? So I think we can also kind of steer in two different directions at Fifth House on the left, where Kelsey wouldn't have almost hit Eugene. So Eugene wouldn't have tried to hop into Bernard's van, but Bernard still might have gone into the Smith Hammer house because Kelsey was close to hitting his car. So if that happened, Tammy still would become a Christian, but Eugene wouldn't be able to help a lot of people, and some people might have died without Eugene helping them.
Possibly. I mean, Kelsey wouldn't have gone to take Eugene to the screen test.
Yeah, she would have been at home.
She might have been at home.
But some people in the studio might have died without Eugene helping them.
And
I maintain that.
There's also the possibility that Bernard wouldn't have been there at all.
Yeah,
in which case
Bernard could have left, and more people would have died.
And Tammy's feet would have been in much worse shape.
And Tammy wouldn't have become a Christian because he would have just left after Kelsey drove by.
Anyway, so back to Odyssey then.
Kelsey wouldn't meet her true love, give Eugene a kiss.
Yeah. So Eugene now, as we're eking on towards album 23 and 24. So Eugene is in high spirits because of this new relationship. He's not feeling all like, oh, I'm pining for Katrina, but I can't be with her. So he doesn't hole himself up for weeks at the college to work on his soil analysis project. Doesn't grow a mustache. Possibly he's less interested in his soil work because he's so distracted by someone.
Probably not spending that much time with Connie.
Yeah.
Or Jason. Or Jack.
So obviously Katrina doesn't leave Odyssey in the turning point for Chicago because there's no emotional conflict to cause Armitage to suggest her return home.
Yeah, and because of this, Eugene would have someone to emotionally support him through Whit leaving. And also, if Eugene never went on the road trip, he would have been able to say goodbye to Whit, so he would have had that emotional closure. So that's like an even bigger thing.
That's really good.
Yeah,
good catch.
Thank you.
Good catch.
We almost missed that. So basically,
that just pushes even more towards their point.
Yeah. So Eugene has like all these people still like with him emotionally, and they still would have lost Wit's End in album 25. Maybe. But the thing we're trying to say
I guess, they still would have, because
it
wasn't Eugene's fault that it was taken, because it was just, Glossman already knew about the mineral as soon as they found the tunnel itself.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Ross's fault, and Jackson and Jason's fault.
And Blackguard. But, yeah, that one's a given. But what we're trying to say is Eugene would have had emotional support for him, more or less, on all sides, so he wouldn't have felt like in that really empty place he was in the episode The Time Has Come, so he wouldn't have become a Christian in album 25.
Probably not, yeah. Because, exactly, he has emotional support. He's not going to be in that low place of abandonment.
I never thought of all the repercussions if Eugene never went on the road trip.
It's also possible that, in terms of, like I said, he's not spending a lot of time on his soil analysis. He's not holding himself away working on it. It's possible
that he might have missed Ruku,
that he wouldn't have tested the soil in the tunnel, or if he does, that he was, he wasn't looking closely enough, he wouldn't have noticed the irregular properties of this one mineral in the tunnel. I feel like
Katrina would have helped with
it's not really her area, though.
I mean, she would have helped in any way she could.
Yeah, but
I don't know how,
it's at least
but she would have helped.
It's at least a possibility that Blackguard would have succeeded in his plans if they didn't notice the mineral there, so he would have taken over the world with the enhanced Ruku virus. We'll consider this possible, but we obviously won't dwell on it because that's a pretty close-ended path.
And we want to keep on talking about this.
Excuse me. Yes. So then we move on to album 26.
So Katrina never dates Brandon.
Yeah.
Because
pretty given, but
Brandon
Teller. So Eugene will still go to Israel with Jason in order to fetch Whit and the Q document, but Eugene will not stay behind after the episode with Whit in order to find a sense of self-fulfillment in the desert there.
Yeah.
Because he's not, pining over Katrina. Rather, he comes back with Jason, and he's actually able to attend the Shanks wedding vow renewal as an invited guest.
And not crash it. Like, he actually... And we don't get that great line, though, about, like, hitting him with his glove, and Jason's laughing
Tell
in the
Jason
background.
it's not very funny. Eugene and Katrina will
Jason's such a troll.
probably become engaged and married, like, long before For Whom the Wedding Bells Toll, I would guess.
Yeah.
And way before Plan
They still have
B.
to deal with, like, a lot of ruckus about the ring. But the thing is, Jack and Joanne wouldn't have the antique store by this point. So Katrina might have a different
because
ring.
it's happening earlier, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And way before Plan B,
So they might have
obviously,
actually ended up with Katrina's grandmother's ring. Unless Eugene got a different one, but we don't know.
Yeah, the Shanks then are both able to see their daughter get married while both being still fully alive simultaneously.
Rest in peace.
So in terms of Novacom stuff, Victoria?
Armitage still advocates for Eugene getting the RWS research position, and Eugene does lots of work for the good people over at Andromeda Incorporated. I bet they're not up to anything.
Nope. Moving on to the next point then. After Armitage is brutally murdered...
Yeah, he still dies.
Eugene
There's no way to get around that. It's like a fixed point in time.
By the good people at Andromeda Incorporated, Eugene and Katrina steal the RWS research and punch the highway, spending several years trotting the globe on the run from Andromeda hit squads, as Jared puts it.
Yeah. But the big thing about this
This is the thing that Victoria said to me that convinced me that this is a big enough change that we should do a what if on it.
Yeah. Before even taking into account like all the road trip stuff, because we just thought of that
figured
right
out.
now. Yeah. So this was my strongest point. Eugene and Katrina don't volunteer for around the world missions while they're on the run, since they aren't Christians, meaning that they don't go to the Ashanti village in the DRC, what is...
The Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay, and they don't learn that Leonard is alive. Leonard still escapes and hides in Connellsville. That's how you spell Connellsville?
Yep.
That's dumb spelling. No wonder no one likes it. Unaware that his son is alive after his affairs with Hiram and the graves for Thelma, Eugene and Everett are erected.
Yeah.
Leonard probably keeps on the move to avoid Dalton Kern, and he probably avoids detection for a long time, maybe indefinitely, without Dalton being clued in by hand-ups donations to the Ashanti village through Christmas for the Children. Leonard dies shortly thereafter when his kidneys fail due to his diabetes that he doesn't know about. We learn about it in A New Era.
Yeah.
And he has neither the money nor the available donor to get the surgery he needs or to pay for the dialysis. I personally think that Leonard would be on the run for a little bit longer and Dalton would have caught him.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, it's possible.
I mean, that's just my personal
because, I mean, the thing is...
for what would have happened.
Dalton had, like, no leads on finding Leonard until...
I mean, he was still looking, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, we have no reason to believe that... Because Leonard was so incredibly paranoid about everything.
He was, like... Honestly, Leonard reminds me a lot of Stanford Pines.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it's entirely possible that he never would have been found until, his kidneys exploded. And he would have been toast. And not just toast, but toast... jelly side down.
Oh, jelly side down!
Yeah, we all know what that means. We all know what that means. Because it's such common knowledge.
Yeah. We don't even need to say what it means.
Exactly. So, as a result, then, if Leonard just goes off and dies in a hole somewhere, then Everett is probably going to spend his entire life believing that Dalton Kern is his real father.
Do you think Everett would become like a mob boss or something?
I was wondering about that, because he was so horrified when he found out, like, what Dalton did.
I think he would, like, do what Dalton
So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I feel like it could go either way.
Do you think, like, Eugene would never meet Everett, which is sad.
It is sad. He never...
Everett needs to be in more episodes. Get on it, Odyssey. I want Everett to meet Jules, and I want them to be buddies.
Do you think
I want Everett and Buck to meet. Oh my gosh, Everett's an uncle. Why don't we talk about this
We have
more?
talked about that.
No, I mean, like, more. Why don't we talk about it more? Leonard has a grandchild. Buck has a grandpa.
I know, and his grandpa's pole house.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that he voices Pole House.
I know.
That's so funny.
I want
Leonard to carry, like, candy in his archaeologist outfit and, like, give Buck candy.
Do you think Eugene would have ever stumbled across the graves for Everett and Thelma and Leonard at the Presbyterian Church?
He might have, because maybe, like, paying his respects. We don't know if he does on an annual basis for Hiram, but say he did, and we didn't know about it, then he would see the graves.
Good old Garvey.
And except for he wouldn't be able to figure out who Everett is.
It's true.
He would just be like, oh, Everett must be a relative I don't know about, like an uncle or a cousin, and we'll just be here
An uncle who is several years younger than me according to the birth date on this tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I just want to say Everett and Leonard wouldn't become Christians. We don't know if Everett becomes a Christian, but we can kind of assume he does.
Probably not.
And they wouldn't be able to go help that village.
Yeah.
So.
Because, one is dead and the other works for, like, a nasty
The other
man.
one's evil now. Evil Everett.
So back to Eugene and Katrina then. They're running around the world. Eventually, we all know, they return to Washington, D.C., so Eugene can complete his RWS research, the radio wave study at the NIH. Eugene loses his memory in a self-experiment gone wrong, and the Meltzner's return to Odyssey to try and unlock his memories. So the Eugene Returns trilogy mostly passes the same, I think. But
more or less,
Eugene has no memory, another thing Victoria pointed out.
Yeah, this was
my which I think might not affect it all that much, but it's still different. Because, of course, the end of the Eugene Returns trilogy is where Eugene remembers the key moment that unlocks his memories, and that key moment is the time has come where he prays with Jack and Connie and Bernard and Tom, and in this AU, that never happened.
I wouldn't argue that was the key moment. See, the reason Eugene got his memory back was he got it back right after he sat down and prayed with Whit, finally, because they didn't do that for the entire trilogy, and they made a point of saying that a lot of times, especially Tom, because he's like, where's the heart in the machine? Where's the heart in the machine? And twang! What twang?
It's even more than that. It's like, twang!
I know.
What twang?
I like to think that Tom did that on purpose, even
I think
though
so. I think he was being sarcastic.
Doesn't sound like he sounds kind of serious, but
I feel like
such
being
a heavier accent
sarcastic
than it usually is. I just got a banjo the other day, and my teacher at one point was like, here, you hold your hand this way and you play this way, creates a heavy twang in my head, and it was like, twang, what twang? And it was so hard not to say it, but I didn't. And anyway, yeah, a little aside. Anyway, the point is, Eugene and Whit wouldn't have prayed, so Devin thinks Eugene eventually would have gotten his memory back in little pieces.
Probably.
But I personally think that even if he might get a couple back, but I don't think he ever got back his full memory.
Because, everyone else in Odyssey would be praying for him a lot.
That's true.
So I feel like eventually,
yeah,
they come back, and other associations and things, and eventually...
that is a lot of time.
It is a possibility.
He's like so irritable. Remember how bad he was in it? I listened to it again the other day, and I was like, "Geez, calm down."
We can't consider that a possibility, but just be like, it's another one of those places like Darkness Before Dawn, where it's like, okay, there are two possible paths here.
Yeah,
and we'll acknowledge this one, but we won't keep talking about it because it's kind of a dead end.
And we want to keep on talking because we never shut up.
So, yeah. Eugene and Katrina don't have, a second wedding after they come back because they were married much earlier than Novacom in this timeline.
And, hey, they would have gotten a wedding, an original one that everyone would have gotten to see.
Exactly.
It would probably still have like a lot of things that would go wrong.
Millie and Armitage would have been there, so
oh, jeez.
Yeah. Hand Up isn't going to get started, which is absolutely the number one biggest effect on the timeline. Could you even imagine the impact that would occur on all points of this show as it is right now if Hand Up just disappeared into the ether?
Hand Up is so
if it was gone,
important
if it was,
right now.
if they just stopped talking about it like it never existed, that would be like the most earth-shattering thing. It would be chaos,
worse?
anarchy, moral disintegration. In
Devin.
short, you have a ghastly mess.
No, it'd be even worse if, like, 10 albums
I quite agree.
after it does appear, they mention it in a throwaway line.
Yeah, that would be much worse.
You know what that would do to the audience?
It would make them
blow their minds. Did you know I was going to say that? Why didn't you expect me to say that? It's been like 10 minutes since we said it last time.
I was hoping you would finish my Mary Poppins quote.
Why do that when I can quote Heath Ledger?
So from this point, so no hand up. From this point, I feel like we can skip forward a couple albums to album 53, to Your Son and Mine, Buck Oliver.
Bucky.
Katrina is, of course, as caring as ever, and she's very concerned with what's happening to Buck, but we could conceive that without the spiritual message that she gave him in her pleadings to free her, he would not have listened to her, and he would have fled with Mr. Skint, ending up wherever he is now, which apparently we may learn where that is sometime soon.
No, Devin, no!
And then,
no!
after probably an uncomfortable while, Katrina is found locked in Mr. Skint's trailer, and she's okay. Buck obviously isn't taken in by Eugene and Katrina, and they remain childless and barren.
Buck wouldn't go to juvie.
Nope, he would still be on the lam.
Aw, Buck. Is that it?
Yep, that's everything I thought of.
No, is there anything else?
So, Leonard's dead, Everett's evil, Buck is still with Mr. Skint. Maybe people are dead in California. What other stuff? No hand up and everyone they helped with that. The Ashantis still don't have a communication relay and they're still, like, believing in the curse and the bridge and stuff. Dalton Kern's still on the run. Maybe Blacker took over the world. That's all of these turn out like this.
What if? No.
It just goes to show.
I was gonna say, what if Bernard died in that earthquake? But I don't think so.
It just goes to show that God has a plan and the way that the things go out, and so if you change something, everything goes to crap and is all bad.
Everything bad. Oh, that was a depressing video.
I mean,
what it wasn't as depressing as though? Our Novacom video, because that was really depressing. The top 10 most intense scenes.
Yeah.
Find link in description. I love doing that to you.
So, yeah.
Well, that was actually my favorite What If we've done. I don't know about you.
It was interesting. You did a good job with it, Victoria.
You.
So, what are we talking about next time? Episode 98. We're getting up there, getting close to that big.
We're really close to 99.
That's true.
Yeah, the big 9-9.
That's right. That's 19. That's 99.
Devin's teaching me sign language.
Yeah, what do we do next time?
Good question.
Be a review of Qua.
Do you even know?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were just like pointing aimlessly. You're pointing at two specific things.
Okay. I'm circling the answer, Victoria.
Like a vulture. Okay, so we're gonna do the OAC episode of the month, Boat People Part 2, which I believe was August.
Correct.
Hey, the new OAC episode's out. I have to listen to it. I just realized that.
I said that at the beginning of the episode.
I didn't remember. Okay. And Great Expectations.
Yeah, we are running out of Wit's Life episodes to do. Only a few months left in the year.
Yep.
Great Expectations is great because it gave us all sorts of difference. It's like we've gotten so many like episodes chunked in different big parts of Wit's life, and this one was just like it was like the nail
bits.
It was like the nail filler.
It was just the bits.
The whole filler that fills in the little gaps in the brick, just mortaring them together.
Just the bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Filling it all, smoothing it out like a good old cement bricky architecture masonry thing. So that's what we're doing next time. Until then, I've been Devin Francis, also known as Leonard Meltzner.
And I just blew his mind.
See, I expected it that time.
Yeah, I knew you did.
That's when you have to go back to the Mary Poppins quotes.
Ha! Ha! Ah.
And thank you for joining us on our side of YouTube. You have been watching The Adventures in Odyssey Oddcast.
Hey, Devin. What are you doing? I got him!
Goodbye.